I was still in middle school the time when this happened, so I was about 13 or 14. As a note, I was rather tall for my age. Some people thought I was in high school, which will make sense later. My town was very quiet and nothing serious happened. I guess that's why I so was freaked out in the end. I had been walking down the street and occasionally stopping to look into windows of some stores. I decided it getting late and I told my parents I would be home before dark. My parents were pretty laid back when it came to me going out on my own, as long as I was back by the time I promised I would come back. I made my way down the empty street, when I heard footsteps behind me. I glanced behind me slightly to see a man. He looked to be in his late teens or early 20s. He soon sped up, so he was walking next to me. "Hey, how are you?" he asked. Nothing seemed off about him, so I replied, "I'm good, just heading home." I tried to be friendly, but I didn't like talking to people, especially people I don't know. He nodded. "What's your name?" I honestly didn't want to talk to him and sure as hell didn't want to give him my name. "Becky," I lied. I didn't look at him directly, but I kept him in the corner of my eye. I felt like I needed to know what he was doing. I took in some of his features. He had shaggy dirty blonde hair and brown eyes. He was only about 3 or 4 inches taller than me, and at the time I was 5'7" and a half. He smiled and that set me on edge. "Cool, do you have a boyfriend?" I don't know what to say at this point, but I had to answer, "Yes, I do." I lied again, hoping to make him lose interest or at least get him to stop talking to me. "Wanna come hang out with me and my friends?" he asked. "No thanks, I promised my parents I'd be back before dark." He kept walking with me in step and kept persisting that I come hang out with him. At this point I ignore him. My house was just 3 blocks away. He seemed to get annoyed by my lack of response. "Come, it'll be fun," he said and grabbed my hand and tugged it. I honestly thought I was going to go psychotic. I hate being touched, and being touched by people that I don't know really sets me off. I yanked my hand from his grip and snap, "Keep your hands the fuck off of me." He seemed to get angry and reached for me again. "We're going to meet my friends now," he said, attempting to grab me. I turned and bolted down the street. I wasn't in the beat of shape, so I doubted I would make it to my house. I could hear his heavy footfalls behind me and occasional shouts for me to stop running. I ran into a random shop and ran up to the cashier and told her what had happened. She told me to hide behind the counter and called the police and told them what happened. About 10 minutes later the police arrived. One officer stayed with me in the shop and the other made a sweep of the area and found nothing. They drove me home and my parents came outside with surprised looks as I stepped out of the car. One of the officers got out and explained the situation. My parents thanked him and we went inside. My parents didn't let me walk alone for months and I didn't feel the urge to walk alone. I was shocked that this happened in such a quiet town, so were the police. So to the creep that chased me, go fuck yourself. This content was provided by Angelo